welcome back to Rell TV. This might be episode like three, I'm guessing. Yeah, this is episode 3. Welcome, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.
Let's go ahead and this is gonna be the first time. I want you to introduce yourself to these people.
Introduce myself.
Because I know of you. You feel me? I've heard your acclaims. You feel me? But like,
yeah, I got a couple. I don't have like one specific name that I'd be like telling people. Like again, government name Garrett Spencer is kind of what I go by. But like the Prince Spence on Instagram. So Spence, G Dot, Doom Shot. There's all kinds of stuff you go
Doom
by.
Shot is hard as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Doom Shot is raw.
Appreciate it.
Doom Shot.
That was just big fan of like the whole like Doctor Doom / like MF Doom kind of like aesthetic of like keeping yourself like kind of hidden. That whole like mask thing. I don't own a mask or nothing, so I just don't be posting myself too much. But then like I replaced like I put 2 M's for like millimeters for like because like all camera lenses like 50 millimeter that kind of stuff. So and then shooting, so just like just Doom Shot like shit. It's about to be always a cold product out here, so
that's fucking raw.
Appreciate it.
Garrett Spencer, thank you for coming to Rell TV, bro.
Dude, thank you for having me on Rell TV. Appreciate that.
Man, so let's take them back before they even get to really know who you are. Where are you from, bro?
So, actually born and raised on 31st and Campbell, just down like kind of in the city. Moved out to the suburbs, kind of like when we started like grade school kind of type stuff. So Lee Summit's kind of where I went to. Lee Summit West, where I went to school at and everything. But yeah, KC, got a tat on my leg. Born at the hospital just right off the plaza. So yep.
That's that's when my daughter was born, bro.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
But hell yeah. Okay, so coming from Lee Summit, for those who do not know, you're a photographer.
Yes, I am.
You've been doing it for how many years?
Actually, this month will be 1. Will be 1 year exactly.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I just got my
crazy,
camera.
bro.
Like, it was like end of July, beginning of August, like last year.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. So how the hell did you stumble upon photography, bro?
Almost I say like a creative accident in a sense. Like I took photos for like the yearbook back in high school. I had an internship with like the zoo up in Green Bay, like one summer just for like on some fun shit. It was supposed to be like social media, but like they gave me a camera to go like take pics of the animals and stuff. So, and I got a degree in like design arts, graphic design, because I wanted to like, so I'm super into shoes. So like going to college, I was like, oh yeah, I want to like design sneakers and like go that route. And I was like, I don't know what to do in that base. But so I was like, oh, graphics makes sense. Did that. I graduated in 2020, so like everything is like shut down. So there was like no one's hiring. Everything's like we're laying people off. So like I was like working at Foot Locker, kind of just like doing some business because my manager was in business. So I just had like a sales job, just like some simple stuff. Moved back to KC in like 2021. Had a sales job for a month and I quit that shit because I was like, I did not like it. I didn't
sales in what, like Foot Locker? Or
no, this was sales in like it was like with like AT&T for like selling phones and shit like that. Basically like cold calling to a degree, but like I was after like a couple weeks of that I was like, nah.
It felt too like a bot like for you.
It just that alone, like I'm not really someone who's like a super big money driven individual. Like I really gotta like enjoy what I'm doing. Like I'd rather be like broke and happy than like rich and sad personally. So
on God.
One thing kind of led to the other, and I'm like, I was like needing some kind of like creative like flex or like an outlet because like I was just doing like the sales stuff, and I'm like, this is not fun. So like on my computer, kind of just like making a little bit of graphics here and there. I did like little logos for like very small, like one of my friends has shout out James Wiley, has a detailing group, and I made the logo for that. There was a charity up in Green Bay, I made the logo for that. So just like really minor stuff. But it wasn't like the creative, like I guess like fun or like outlet that I was looking for. And then one of my dealers at the time, he started like making music and was like, hey, like, can you make like a cover for me? I was like, that seems pretty simple. Was that 3000 by 3000 X? I'll throw that in. Like, we can do something, throw the name, keep it pretty simple. Did that. I was like, okay, that was kind of fun. Made like a couple for him. And like, I don't know what like sparked it, but then one day I just like posted it on Twitter and was like, I'm gonna do like a 30-day challenge and just like every single day, like make a different cover, rather it be for somebody, which at the time it was for nobody. It was just like pulling ideas out of my head, going on Pinterest, looking at photos, being like, okay, I'll merge this with this and like take that and like blah, 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 just make something kind of fun. I think I was on like day like 14 or 15. And then Ease, shout out Josh, he hit me up on there and was like, hey man, like these covers, like you should come out to a show and like, and then we make me cover also. And I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. I was like,
that's fire.
I don't really have like a camera. I guess I might as well kind of got to get one. So, and at the time also, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I was getting a couple people who were having me do covers, but like they would just like send me like their photos and like they were always just like really grainy, bad quality, like couldn't do too much with it. So I was like, man, I gotta like just expedite this and like do it myself and like actually have like the idea in the shot and like make it like crisp. So again, got on an auction, got my shout out my Canon Rebel 5 that I'm still rocking, T5 for like $200.
Damn.
And still rocking with that. And just started again, just taking flicks. Went to that show, met a couple people. That led to another show, and then probably the biggest and that's kind of I guess how the whole camera thing kind of started. At first, it was really just like the covers were still like my focus, and I was just trying to get people to like, I'll do shoots with you, to then put those photos on the covers of the stuff. So, but then the camera thing kind of just like
once you grabbed the camera,
it kind of just like took its own took on its own beast, and like I just kind of got more into that, and was more like passionate about like just like getting better at it, and there was more opportunity for people being like, hey, like come to my studio, or hey, I have this like event, or can I just like pull up for a shoot? And I'm like, yes, sounds good, and it just spiraled, and now we're a year later, just like
so a year full of yes theory for real.
Only yes. Like this year, I was the biggest yes man. Like I really don't think there was a single thing that I like said no to. Like I mean, even coming up this week, like I'm running on a bender of like 3 weeks straight of a shoot every single day. Like I've yet to not like I'm 3 shoots behind on editing because I'm like I just say yes and I say yes and I say yes. So
man, that's crazy. It's crazy to see like or just to hear that like so quickly after I guess obtaining that vision or like the tools necessary for the vision, you just ran with it, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. And I have I could sit here for the whole 2 hour, 3 hour stint and just like shout out the people that like are the reason I even got to this point. Like the biggest one, shout out to Pat, Tricio from One Indie, like one of the biggest guys that helped me. That he reached out to me like this was not even a full month into even taking photos, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I like your stuff." Like, cause I was just posting the artists that I was taking photos of just for like the love of posting and like creating content for myself. And he's like, "I like you like shouting these people out and like linking up with them. Like you should come out to Emerald Dream Labs at their old studio over in Kansas," and like we started chatting, and kind of that's how the One Entity thing kind of like merged out, and like that was the biggest like kind of I don't know the word I'm going to use, but exposure to a lot of the artists because we started kind of doing like early like interviews, like small ones, and that's how I met Sky Cali, Steph Up, Unique, like Two Gun Kiwi, like a lot of just like legendary cool ass people that I still like work like have created such relationships like with again shout out Unique, shout out Sky Cali, like to this day that. Again, if it wasn't for those early like couple months, like just Pat taking a chance on me, let me kind of figure it out as I like went, like I wouldn't like have met the people that I got in connect that I have today. And it was just one huge snowball effect. That's pretty much all it was.
Man, that's amazing. First off, congrats, bro, on your growth, bro.
Thank
that
you,
shit's
thank you.
amazing, especially aspiring, to do my own thing and like you being a part of it, and, like,
Dude,
giving me the same opportunity for real, looking kind of back at like hometown. Like I went to North that's how I met, bro right here, and technically I met bro right here from North, but that's some deeper roots type of vibe. But you feel me? But so like for you to still stay home and like make sure everyone eats. Like that's real. That's real, bro.
100%. Like the amount of like I'd say easily 75% of the shoots I've done like in this like up till this last like 2 months were just like all free too. Like I just like was doing so I was hitting people up or people hitting me up and I just wouldn't say no, or I'd like work heavily with their budget. Like I mean I've done shoots for $20 just because they're like, hey, that's all I have, and I'm like, that's fine, I'll pull up, like let's get something quick and like quick turnarounds. Like that's been the key is just saying yes to everything and like getting their shit back to them within like 24 40 hours at the longest. Like I'll stay up all night long just to edit something if I just took, because I want that next day people to be able to post it and like just cycle it back out into the like. Why would I wait 2-3 weeks for an event and then like it don't make sense?
And this is still all you, like no team,
all,
no nothing.
Yeah, it's all me. It's all me.
Dude,
edit photo, get it out there, and the editing also like that's again, it's one of those. It's like it's one of those like compounding things where like again, it's that 10% like every day, even just doing like a little bit like really gets you better in such a short amount of time. Because again, like I'm editing every single day, hundreds of photos on my own. So where like I get like a little more of a pattern, a little more about like a sight for like, ooh, I need to make sure like the saturation's this on this kind of thing, or ooh, the lighting's here. I gotta make sure. Coloring's like this and that. So like it really like sped up the process of even like getting comfortable and like I'd say decently good. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm some like top guy like doing it. I'm
You're
still
nice,
like,
bro. Don't sugarcoat it for people. You're nice, bro.
Dude, I'm still editing like on my phone. One of my secret one of my secret weapons.
Did you say you're still editing on your phone?
Yeah, one of my secret weapons, and I'll let people know. Twitter, the Twitter editing like coloring is so goated.
Bro, that's such a put on. Dude,
if you were like if you were to camp out and like watch my Twitter, there'll be days where like I'll post like 20 photos in like a minute and then like delete them all because like you post it and it saves it to your phone, so then I have like the photos edited, but I'll delete them immediately after. So I'll just like do 4 at a time, just like.
Hey, anyone looking out for like rare photos? Hey,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you don't
Twitter,
need
bro.
those like you don't need the Adobes, you don't need like the Lightrooms, like you just Twitter. Twitter's a
That's
good one.
real.
Like
That's
even if your
real.
phone's like the phone editing is fine, like it's decent, but like that's still like a slower process by Twitter. It's like you get 4 at a time, bang, 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 bang. So like it's just a little again, if you want those like quick 24-hour turnarounds, like
Yeah.
unless you want to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, which I don't recommend. Sleep is important, but
Man, that's such a put on. Thank you for that, viewers. You know, do what you need to
no
do with
excuses,
that.
people. No
On
excuses.
me, I mean, I use for this I use CapCut, so
I've heard of CapCut.
I get the footage. Yes, it's free. You know what I mean? I get the footage. I get the audio. And just
Yeah, anything free.
drag,
Only
bro.
do the free stuff's where it's at. Like you
Come
don't
on
need the
now.
crazy equipment. Like I said, like I'm
Come on
still
now.
rocking with that $200 Rebel T5 from like
Yeah.
'08. Like to this day, like I just rather get good at the craft and like not rely on like some like super nice editing system or like a $3,000 camera that like
Yeah.
your shots might look decent, but you have no idea what you're doing because you don't have to like. I have to like shoot at sometimes certain times of the day because I'm like, okay, my camera's bad at this lighting, so I have to know like this lighting at this angle and like like it's so much more like deeper calculations of like learning how to like even like set up that. I mean, shoot, it was man, I'm all over the place now that I'm thinking
You're
about
good,
this.
bro.
Like,
You're good.
I was just thinking about like this was probably like 2-3 months even into this. I didn't even use manual like learn how to even like set up a camera till like. I was at a shoot with Middle of Nowhere. Shout out to Nick Littlejohn and all those guys. Tad. I met Tori for the first time, and he showed me. He's like, "Oh, here's how manual works," and like showed me like all the little buttons. I was like, "Oh," because I was just set like a preset, like maybe like the portrait or the that, and then just sending it and going with that. He's like, "No, here's how you like set this stuff up," and like after that, I was like, "Okay, cool. Like this is how that works." Like made it so much easier.
Man, and it's shout out to him, bro. Shout out to him.
Oh,
Bro.
shout out to everybody. If
Yeah,
you
'cause
if
it's
I've
those
met you,
people.
shout you out. Like shout you out.
It's definitely those people that like help evolve you, you know, and like level you up to the next phase for sure. You know what I mean? But man, a year, that shit's crazy. I'm still taking it back by a year, bro. That's crazy. So, like you said, a lot of this time you weren't making money necessarily, or at least not a lot of money, $20 shoots, you know what I mean? But like, when would you say you started to see, at least like maybe not financially, but a change within like the respect level and then like how serious people started to take you? You know what I mean? Or are you still kind of building your name on that aspect?
I feel like I still kind of am. Like when I hear like I get from like from other people I might be doing shoots that like they found me from someone else or followed me. They're like, hey dude, like I heard this person like shouted like was talking about you. Or I heard your name from this person. Like when I hear that kind of stuff, like oh dude, you're really doing your thing. Like I love that shit because I'm like okay cool. Like from my perspective, like I reflect on the stuff I've done and like in the moment like seeing it as it happens, but like. It doesn't feel like really any different. I still go to my like regular day job like everybody else. I still come home, but I just have way less free like personal time because I'm just going so hard on this other thing that like I don't even have like a full end goal. I just really love doing it. So like eventually I think I'm gonna find what that lane. But like I mean, like I said, I'm still only a year into it. Like this is like I would even still feel like my rookie season. So like I don't even know like what the where it is. I just want to like work with everybody. I want to capture everybody. I want to just like max out as much as I can in KC because I know KC the way that this market works. Like we are a smaller market to where like there is a certain limit that you can get to where then you do kind of have to expand and like
No, most definitely.
kind of branch out and find some other where. Still make sure to bring it back to the city, but like go out and like just make a bigger name to then bring more people and like because like the end goal honestly I say that actually the end goal for just the overall is like make KC a hub like
Most
Detroit
definitely.
and Atlanta like a
Most
place like we're in the Midwest like
We're the heart of like the
we're
map.
the reason we're
the
in
heart.
the middle like
Most definitely.
it doesn't
bro.
have to be nowhere. This doesn't have to be nowhere. This can be somewhere like
And I mean, I feel like you could agree we're definitely like stumbling upon that just as a city. I mean, you look at like first off our sports teams, you know what I mean? Like we got someone you've worked with personally, Sleazy, you know what I mean? And
shout out the whole camp.
we got D-Walk, who's still making a name for himself. You know what I mean? Like we still have these
That
people.
track is crazy. Do that.
Bro, like we have, and that's crazy. Like you know a lot of people behind the scenes who have not kind of caught the, say like the state over buzz, Kansas buzz, but are crazy artists. You know what I mean?
The state of Kansas and Iowa have a crazy scene. They're like again, they're micro and small, but like there's a lot of like really good artists out there.
Yeah, I stay out in Lawrence.
Okay.
I travel back and forth often, but dude, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying, bro. No, it's just, I feel like like the tea kettle example, you know, someone just now turned us on 8 on the stove. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Yeah, we're just now like getting like a representation like outside, like in like Sleazy making double XL is like huge for us. And I don't think people are making a big enough deal about that. It's like 10 artists in the. I mean, now that they expanded out to like Essential C was on that, like now the world get picked for this thing. I know like over time since like I say like 2016, it's kind of like drifted down, but like to say like. Top 10, home, like to someone who even like chooses to rep, like he wasn't even born here, but he still like goes out of his way to decide like KC, like I put that as one of my homes is huge. 100%. And like we just need like the way we've kind of like backed him a little bit, like that's the same kind of energy we just need to flip and do it for like again people like D-Walk, MB58, ones that are like on Kai Colors who are like on that cusp of being those next ones to shoot out. So then we get enough of those sleazes out there, then you know the smaller artists who just started like yesterday are the ones that really are grinding. Get a quicker, easier platform because we've brought a label, we've brought a bigger like spotlight to it, not just like one guy having to carry the whole city on his shoulders, definitely, and not people like being like, no, I want to be the first one out. I want to be the first one out. Well, the first one out is already technically out if we're not counting like you know, Tech Nine, all like the history that we have, but like the new age first one out is already there. So now it's just everyone else just get out there, like let's support each other and get them up. Let's everyone get up.
Definitely does have his history as you bring up Tech Nine, but I mean like you look at currently we have Smino on like the front pages of the world.
I say Missouri, I say more KC, but I mean we're talking St. Louis, dude, you know, Metro, like
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, yeah, that's a list. Like Nelly, like you know
Nelly,
what I mean? Like,
Sexy Red, like we got all kinds of people, dude.
No, yeah, like it's crazy how overlooked we are just for like the impact we truly do have.
Facts.
And like I'm very excited for KC to be recognized as it should have been, but also like, I mean, Chicago probably felt the same way when they were bubbling. You know what I mean? When Chief Keef was first starting to get his name out there, they probably felt the same way. So for us to be on that cusp and like to be here in the moment and like to have these conversations of just capturing this moment, you know what I mean, in time. So it's very exciting, bro. It's definitely very exciting.
That it is. That yeah. Again, being on this like, I mean, I know they've already like, there's plenty of even like in this, I say forefront, like even since like 2016, 2017, like the city has been like bubbling up with like, you know, shout out Caviar and like all those guys that like really like laid down that group, middle of nowhere, like people who've been doing it since like 2017, 2018, but like. This is like a time now that like, I think like it feels a little more like there's more now going on. Yes, there's a lot more artists, but like there's a lot more people who have been doing it since that time that like just feel more established. I mean, shoot, Ashawn just got back from a tour over in South Africa. Like that's fucking sick. That's crazy. Like that's just cool. Crazy. Like you used to say that you just block that out and say that alone. It's like that's fucking cool. Like
no, most definitely, bro.
A lot of those guys doing the like the beat the competition thing is like that's a super cool problem where guys are getting to like travel to like Las Vegas and go down to Florida and like do like charity work, but just like spread their wings and like get their faces at least in other spots. Like I'm glad we have like things like that and are like there are like those kind of options and people are doing that. So it's not just like you know a hobby. People are like I just like to rap like on the weekends for fun. Like
and that's you said a big thing and like I've been hearing this a lot recently just with me doing this like. Doing it, like you know what I mean, like
just doing.
Like when I know you, like when you first bought that camera, doing it, saying yes to everything,
even if it's like bad or good. Like I mean, I try to. I mean, I damn near post every day, if not every other day. Like sometimes take like a little bit of break, but just like just doing it. Like you're not gonna get better thinking about doing it, or like imagining what it's gonna be like when you make it to that point. Like you have to climb the steps to get to that. Like it's not just gonna like show up at you. Like. And they're not going to be good. But.
It's kind of weird for us because, like, you look at, like, I guess, like an athlete. We'll touch back on that because I thanks to that man over there, I know some things about you. We'll touch back on that. But, like an athlete, and you can speak on this, like, the difference between a practice and a game. Every day for us is kind of like a game in a weird way. You know what I mean?
Because practice should be a game in a sense.
No, most definitely. Really I mean, that's what they teach. You know, that's what they taught us as kids and stuff. But, like, being that age, being like 12 and having this sport, practice was definitely something different than
true, yeah.
And then there is like that. I play baseball and like a little bit of basketball, but mainly baseball. So like, when like you see your competition, we don't really have a competition but ourselves.
True,
you know what I mean?
True.
So I guess it's like every day looking in the mirror is a game. You're battling yourself, especially in this lane versus like. The 5-star recruit, he had people to compare himself against to. And I understand, like, you have other photographers that
in the city alone, there's so many good ones.
Like, but it's like, you're not really competing against them at the end of the day. Because if you take a photo of Sleazy and they take a photo of Sleazy, y'all both have crossed that threshold. Now it's, how can you just best yourself? You know
especially
what I mean?
if, like, you have, like, a certain, like, I think every single photographer, like, unless you're choosing to like kind of like rip on someone, like you have like a certain like style, even like to your shots, like maybe the way you edit, like the kind of, because everyone's camera is like, unless you're, I mean, using the same camera, like the settings on my camera and the model are going to be a little different than, you know, the guy next to me or the other person like in that venue that's also taking shots.
Right.
I'm getting, just sheerly because I'm 6'6", I'm standing at a different angle that I'm going to get than the girl who's 5'4" taking her shots. Like it's going to be like, everyone's shots are going to be different, just like how you put it together. So.
That's real, dude. So man, it's just like, it is a weird thing. Like just like you were saying, consistency, because it's like
that might seriously be the biggest one. That consistency, don't say no, and like also like don't do it on your own in the sense of like you gotta network, you gotta like reach out to the people. You can't be like, if I was just a photographer that didn't like, I mess with so many other photographers, like shout out Twizzle, shout out Zay, Heavy Zay, shout out Adriana, like there's a ton of them. Shout out Cell, like just working with them and like knowing them, then like that helps you meet other people and get to like, you know, be at other shoots and meet other groups. Like you can't just like walk this path alone. Like it doesn't.
Well, that's real. And I know my newest episode isn't out yet, but just a reference, he was a South African entrepreneur, right? And his main thing is like you cannot do it alone in life. Like, and that's just like the truest, like no one ever has. I mean, America preaches independence, but like we went to war with with allies, like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
true,
we can't do it alone. Nah. And especially in this industry, it's like, nah, it's too many people trying to pull each other down or work by yourself. Yeah, you got nobody trying to help you up. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, you need to have the good support system. You need to be filled in a room where like everyone in that room is like smarter than you.
Amen.
Like, you don't like
Amen.
Like that. You need that. You can't be like, oh yeah, I'm the best. But like, you know, got to have some self confidence yourself. Yeah. Like in my head, I am the best like photographer in the city. But like that's just because like if I didn't step out of my room every day thinking that like I'm gonna get some mid ass shots, because I'm like, you know, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I gotta like have that kind of confidence, but also at the same time like realize like, just again the way you move, you gotta have that like. Fuck, I don't know. I'm starting to blank out. I just got done doing. Dude, I seriously just like spaced out my sentence. Like I just got done doing swim lessons. So I'm exhausted right now.
Oh shit, you teach? Oh
yeah, to talk.
I'm gonna have to bleep that. You teach as well?
Yeah. I just got done doing swim lessons with some kids, a couple neighborhoods over from here. So
that's fire.
When Lance was like, "Hey, can we move this up to 12:30?" I'm like, "That's perfect. I'm in the neighborhood." Like,
that's so fire. That's fire. All right, let's double back. We can name drop Lance. That's how I know you. That's how I met you.
Shout out Red Light District.
Shout out to Red Light District. Yeah, and. Yeah. All right, but look, he's a swimmer. Am I allowed to? College and shit? Yeah. Yeah, he's going to school and shit. Yeah. So he told me you went to college.
I did, yeah. I went to UWGB up in Green Bay. Small Division I school. Hey. Best 4 years of my life. I absolutely loved it. I mean, that's people fire, from the swimming, all of it. Absolutely loved it.
That's fire, bro. Would you say, I got a couple questions off of that. Would you say, first off, just because we're kind of talking about that ego and bravado, so like, first off, what you're doing now, do you feel like being an athlete kind of, I guess, helped?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I think especially with like specifically with like swimming too, like the amount of just like sheer effort and time and like exhaustion you have to put for like the smallest little like just like boost. Like again, we're training just hundreds of hours in like a month for, you know, maybe some big meet that you might drop 0.2 seconds like that, and that's it. So like that like kind of idea of like just working selflessly and super hard for like not with like even the idea of an end goal, just like to better myself, even like the smallest percentage, like it's like really help with just like maybe those days where I'm just like, wow, there doesn't seem like there's a lot of like movement and like I'm not like progressing, it feels like, or like I'm haven't had a shoot in a couple of days, or like the photos just aren't coming out good, like just like keep going, because like, who knows, that next shoot that I have or that next shot like might be that one, might be that photo, just like because in fact you stop and like you're never gonna know, like got to keep opening all those doors. So
for real. Damn, actually I kind of do want to like dive into like how I understand, you know, you were saying yes to everything. How would you say, first off, you've worked with Sleazy, MB85, that's his name?
MB58.
58, my bad.
Super nice guy. That one wasn't like we weren't like person working. He was at the Ono Fest, and like I ran into him, chopped up real quick, and was like, "Hey, can I get some flicks?" And like he was super nice about it, and like let me get some flicks. So
hell yeah.
Wasn't a full shoot yet. Would love to get a shoot with you, MB, but like that was more or less just like running
up your name.
That was just running in, but
hell yeah. But I mean, okay, so how do you, especially as a photographer, how did you kind of stumble upon these, like even being in that location to see him? Where did that come from?
Again, like that, like spaces back what I was saying about like just like meeting people, or like again like Pat and doing the stuff with the 180. Like he's like been such a huge support system and like super good about like, because he knows everybody. Like if you're in the, because he's been in the scene for a couple years now. So like if you're in the KC scene, like Pat probably knows you, and like he's been one of the best where like he might reach out to him and be like, hey dude, I need to get some pics, and he just sends them straight to me, like always, because he believes like fire. He's believed that heavily since the beginning. Like that's a lot where it's like shit, like I have to come through because now I'm not just doing it for me, like I can't make him look bad and like give some like whack ass photos because he like put his word out on like on the line. So like that's kind of been like another like extra motivator, but he's been a huge one because he was actually how I mean like even getting to like be in the same studio as like Sleazy and get some photos. Again, another super nice guy. I still actually have the photos from his meet and greet that I haven't posted yet that came out crazy good. But I got, you know, I was just in that room there because I'm really close with Baghdad. Like, you know, shout out Baghdad, shout out A1. Like I do a lot of photos for them, and that was because Baghdad reached out to Pat and was like, hey, like I need photos for like the who is Baghdad, his I think his second project period. We linked up, just hit it out the park off the rip, just like super good connect. Like always, again, he's always showing love. He's one of those guys that will like just text me just like, hey, how you doing? Good, awesome. Shoot, like enjoy your day kind of stuff. So like really always hold down for him, always like doing shoots. So that's kind of how like a lot of that stuff's happened because like I'm with him and he's like, hey, pull up the studio, get shots of him. A lot of people are just kind of there. So that's always been kind of like again, the studio's the best place to meet people. Like it really is. Like if an artist asks you to come out to a studio, like do it because like there's a chance like other people will show up and like pull up. Like there's been plenty of people that like I've met for the first time. Like shout out CTB Bino. Like always be pulling up to Code Red. Also again, I'm shouting out a lot of people. But again, shout out Cody. Like I'll shoot there like a couple times. And, like I've met like MKV Visuals there and you know a bunch of Midnight, like a bunch of like producers and just like people that will come through.
Honestly, that's how I got the Scorpio interview. Cause
exactly. See, again, it's the absolute best. Just like respect the space and like be nice to people, and like you'll meet some people because then like you know set up other things. And
most definitely. And it honestly is you just meet great people. We live
in. He's full of great people, dude. And they're all so nice. Like I don't get how some people have beef with certain people in the city because like everyone's just so like I think they really is like everyone we want the same goal. So like let's all just get there. Like,
and I mean that's a whole nother lane. And I mean I know it's. We wish it could be easy. We all wish it could be easy. Even the people in that lane wish it could be easy. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's like, that's just tough, bro. That's just tough at the end of the day. But there really is love. And I hate, because like, when I did a semester in college before, I bought a camera and moved back to live with him.
That's nice.
I got stole. We'll talk about that off camera. But that was like a big thing. Like they expect like a lot of hate in Kansas City, which is crazy to me. You know what I mean? I understand it. But also like, not really. Like, we here right now. Like, you know what I mean?
I can't speak too much on it because, like, again, like, I come from a completely different lens than a lot of these people who, like, are experiencing this or, like, living those kind of, like, day-to-day lives where there's a reason they do have a certain, like, aggression towards others. But, like, again, when I'm in the spaces, I'm trying my hardest to still, you know, keep that positivity, bring certain people together. Like, I just love seeing artists work together. Like, when you see, like, CTP Vino on a song with No Limit TC, like, that's just fun. It's fun seeing, like, these artists that you, like, enjoy listening to like come together and like do stuff like it's just the best, honestly.
It's amazing, bro. It's amazing. I bet. All right, for sure. All right, getting back into it, bro. Fuck. So let's start off with just on some chill shit. What's like I guess like your most favorite? You don't gotta like say most favorite, but like most memorable shoot that you've had so far, especially like early on if you want to talk on come up stage.
Memorable.
Three. Give me three. Come up. Like I guess you can still consider yourself on the come up, so just I give you one.
Most like if we're going off memorable, just isn't like it was just like a really like odd like setup and just like how quick it was. So I did a shoot with artist in the city named Perky, just on some casual stuff. Again, guy got some crazy energy, super cool dude. He pulled up to like, kind of around my crib and we kind of just like shot around like the Westport area. Right. And like a week later, he hit me up and was like, "Hey, one of my friends is taking some clothes out to 1000 Band Fani over out in Lawrence when he was at a show there."
Fire.
I think like
WYD
Benny was opening up for them. Jace Camden opened up for him. But we pulled up like that morning to Fani's Airbnb. And we pull up there and he's like, "Oh yeah, so we're leaving in like 30 minutes. So like we got to get this like rolling real quick." And half the photos that I have of him were him like eating a cheeseburger. Like he's eating as we're like sitting outside, and, like he's getting the clothes and like he's just smiling, eating. So like I'm over here like trying to get like shots of him like kind of not eating, and like then he was, and like so I was just like one because he's like just chowing down on McDonald's like that whole morning, like while we're like 20 minutes like again before he has to leave and like drive up to I think his next show was in like Minnesota or some shit like that. But like that was just like very limited time, super big like personality, and just like I mean, legend in the SoundCloud game. But like again, it's just like he was there, but he wasn't mentally because he's like probably exhausted from his show. But he's like eating and like looking at the camera, but like chewing. I'm like, all right, let's try and get this angle. But
nah, that's raw, bro.
Other than like that, like I mean, all the shoot, like, and I really like love all the shoots, all the stuff, all the people I work with. I almost have to like. That's the thing. I almost got to reference my Instagram because like I have a lot of shit.
You do, bro.
I mean, even just the last like 2 weeks, I've had 9-10 shoots. So like,
damn, dude.
To think of ones that like really stood out to me that like I was like, oh wow, this one was crazy. Anytime I do any sort of like BTS for like a Nick Lil Jon like music video, like with like Ontario Ray, like those are always like super fun and like I get like awesome shots because we're like bouncing around the city, like. I feel more like in my element doing that like run and gun natural like the people like it's not someone posing, it's me just like trying to capture like certain moments. Like that's my favorite kind of shooting. That's like part of I think the kind of shooting that's like got me pretty like decent at what I'm doing because I'm having to like lighting here, adjust real quick, okay, get at this angle, get low, maybe I'm gonna circle this way, maybe I'll be in the most like funkiest ass position, like getting this kind of shot sniping between two people. So any like BTS. Oh my god, yeah, me and Red Light District's first shoot. Pouring rain. The second he pulled up, I locked my keys in my car with my bag. So I just had my camera. I had my camera on my neck, and I put my keys in my bag. And he pulled up, so I'm just all like focused and like my car's like an '08 Acura, so like the button doesn't work, so I have to like manual lock it. So I always click the button and then shut the door. And like a minute he shut up, I shut it. I was like, son of a bitch. And like wallets in there. I haven't shot AAA, so I have them, but like. I didn't have the card, so like we're shooting and it's raining and I'm having to call AAA at the same time. So it's like this absolute just like shit show. Photos still came out hard.
Them photos are fire.
I'm not gonna take a bad photo of you. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw them up though for people to see.
It's not gonna happen. I promise. That's a disclaimer. If we're doing a shoot, I will not take bad photos of you, no matter the conditions.
Is that a promise?
That's a promise. That's a promise, man.
He said Garrett guarantee.
Yeah, that's a G guarantee for sure, man. That's a G guarantee. Yeah, that one.
I didn't even know that shit. That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, no, that was not one of my more prouder moments for sure.
That's hilarious.
Ooh, and another one of my more like ones that like some of the shots, my favorite shots that I took were actually. My homie Unique was doing a show out at Farewell Cafe, like the coffee booze place. That whole place is a fucking photo op. Like, my goodness, it's so cool. Like, every little spot you can take is like a cool shot. That's the place that if you've seen people post the room with like all the stuffed animals. It's like floor to ceiling, like stapled stuffed animals all over the walls and everything.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, I did also another kind of shoot there with Cash Cam, but this like kind of show like again it's ceiling the wall.
I've seen your photos of that.
Yeah, so I did it. So I was taking photos of Unique there, and like it felt like every spot we were in, like we were outside shooting. Photos came out cool. Inside was sick. We went to the back area. It was just like it felt like we couldn't miss. It was like the lighting was perfect, the conditions were perfect, like the way the background looked, his like outfit was immaculate. Like that was really like I was just like I could close my eyes and like take a good photo. But like Tad Michael pulled up and we were like back in that stuffed animal room and I was taking like long exposure shots of both of them where it's just like basically moving the camera a lot, letting the light move around, and like they came out looking ethereal, just like cosmic almost. It was so sick. Like I was like, these are like some of my favorite photos like to this day that like I took. It was of him and Tad. So like that was another like really big standout. But again, I don't want to discredit all shoots I do. Like I love every single one. They're all fun as hell, and like they all like just again each one's a moment that like I absolutely cherish. That's why I love looking back at my like through my Instagram almost as like a catalog of just like how this last year and how the next year, like it's a portfolio along with just like walking down like memory lane kind of stuff. So like
for sure.
Or like, oh man, I remember thinking another one like this was back in like September. Another one of like my first couple shoots. This was with Two Sev Baby, and he pulled to my place. This is why I think I hit him up because I had saw like a video he had done and like was really messing with his music. We went up to this like I don't even know what to call it. It's right next to Union Station, but just like this, like it's an abandoned building, but they're turning into something. So we were just shooting the parking lot, just on
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like it's like right by like this pit. They're gonna put like I think it's called like Penway Park's gonna go there. It's like right like next to the highway, but we were shooting there. It's privately owned, so like we were shooting there for and like right as we got done, like the cops pulled up because like I guess they had like a little camera there, and they were saying like, and they were super cool guys because they're like, oh hey, like what are you guys doing? We're like taking some flicks, like oh you guys are good. We just saw like the radar thing went up, and we just like show up when that happens, and then the cop proceeds to like show me on his phone the photo shoot that he did with his cop car, like around the city, and was like showing like all these like just like really like artistic shots of like this is the car, like the car like in the rain, and this is like a video of it like panning this way, and like the lights are on. I was like, great job, dude. Like, this is sick. Awesome. I got to go, but this is super cool. Like, he was just like scrolling through because like Tucson's like, what did he show you? I'm like, a photo shoot of his cruiser. Like that.
That's actually raw. Maybe link with him and do some like a music video, like have a cop car in a music video. That'd be so raw, bro.
Yeah, it was funny. So I was like, this is hilarious. Like the one cop to like pull up is like a photography cop.
No,
basically.
yeah. I've had moments like that. Our first interview, the one with Beans.
Dude,
shout out Beans. Shout out Corrupted Angels. You were just Red, all those guys. Fuck yeah. I know he's not necessarily Corrupted Angels, but he hang out with them. But we didn't have a SD card, and I had to go to Walmart. Remember? Yeah, I had to go to Walmart, and like we were all fucking up that day. It was a rough day. It was a rough day. But I go to the fucking Walmart, and the dude, the photographer, like, but he does shit with his phone. And it was like, he showed me like like Android, you feel me? Damn. Nice ass fucking photo of the moon. I'm like, bro, I don't have time for this, but thank you for showing me that.
Dude, those good like photos on your phone be pissing me off, because I know those people with like iPhone 14s, like that's better than the camera I have. Like you could take better photos than me with your phone. I'm just like, oh my
Cole
goodness,
Bennett style, bro. Cole Bennett style for sure.
I think they're better for videos, but like I still be seeing some mad photos. And I'm like, that's on your phone. I'm like, this is whack. But
like you said, the photography on your phone and Twitter, bro. All you need is a phone, bro.
Exactly.
All you need is phone.
You need something. Yeah, no excuse not to start. Yeah,
no excuse. You want to flex the pearls? Or are you just going?
No, yeah, thank you.
I wanted to give you time to do it. I want to give you time.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Okay. Let's just.
I gotta match the nails too.
Y'all getting y'all pedicures, or is that manicures? Is nails? Manicures. Manicures. I fuck with pedicures. I think I prefer a pedicure over a manicure. No funny shit. That just might be me though. I
feel that'd be more relaxing, but like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't be. I just do myself. I just gonna go.
Word.
Paint up and
see, like I take like I don't know, like Mother's Day
stuff.
Yeah, Mother's Day. I take my mom out to get a pedicure and like get my toes done with her. Like why not? I'm not saying I'm gonna get no like color coating, but like a clear coat's cool.
And that's just hanging with the madre. Like got to like,
bro, you got to.
Like, oh, sorry, you love your mom. Like,
you love your mom. You so all right.
Yeah, say something. Say something like for real.
For sure, bro. Damn. All right. So let's has it been 15? 10? Yeah, I'm gonna start talking goals. Let's talk goals, bro. Goals. Let's talk goals. I know you said you started with the bold statement of you have no end goal with this shit, and I'm like, honestly, I respect that full-heartedly. I do.
I guess it's more or less like I just haven't like fully found, because I threw myself into it without like kind of like knowing what it is I was jumping into. I was just like I want to just like do it, and like it was kind of getting handed to me, like just jump into the fire in that kind of sense. But like end goals, like it'd be cool to like one day like have my own studio space and like really just like support me and my family like off of something creative like that. Even if the camera stuff like drifted away and it was something else, like I just want to be in this space, like rather be with like the hip hop space or sports, like something. Like I like the idea of like have my own studio. Would love to be like one of those people who's like I'm always at Rolling Loud, always at Summer Smash, like doing these like bigger venues. We're just like expanding what I do here in the city, but just with like bigger artists. So then like again, bring the spotlight back to the city. Like 100%. it'd be sick to like the kind of consistency I'm doing with artists here, but it's like, oh Matt, Kodak's place this day, and then I got to run down to Rick Ross's mansion tomorrow, and like, oh, I got invited to go do a shoot for off, like just like and the grand scheme, whoever it is that is big at that time, rather it be like some artist from the city, like Ontario Ray's headlining at Lollapalooza, like whoever it is, like I want to be there for that kind of stuff. So like that's kind of like I say like the end goal, just to grow it. Like I don't want it to end up being like a hobby. Like I don't want it to be like 2-3 years down the road and I'm still at the same spot doing the same thing, working my regular and like kind of 9-to-5 job. Like then I'm just doing it for fun. Like that's the same thing as going riding my bike or rollerblading. Like I'm just kind of doing an extra activity. Like I want it to be the main breadwinner in that kind of sense. But it's just so kind of just figuring out like what those steps are and like how it is I need to like now, I guess like progress and change from how this last, because last year really was just like build a portfolio, make people kind of take me seriously and show like when they do like reach out to me, regardless of having 900 followers, 1,100 or 20,000, that's like, oh wow, look at the catalog, like look at who he's been with. Like that credibility was the main thing I was focused on this first year. And now that that's kind of been decently established, I feel now I can be like more selective on like the intensity and the style of shooting and like the curate bigger shoots and like do like more things with like just a grander scale like of audience. Like again, like I would love to have just like a solo shoot with like Kai Colors and D-Walk and like all those kind of guys. So just like stuff like that. Like have the city fully unlocked to where like if anyone even thinks like, oh man, like I have a studio session or oh I have a show coming up, I'm just gonna text Garrett, see if he's like, you know, see what he's up to. Like yeah, see what he's going on first and then go from there. So yeah, kind of just be that go-to guy is kind of the
for sure. Where anything you're excited that you want to tease people with?
Again, just pay attention to the page because again, I'd be dropping shoots a lot. Like again, I got some real pretty ones coming with Jace Camden. I actually do have a couple pics with Kai. I'm meeting him for the first time. Another just genuinely super nice guy. So like just seeing your favorite artists like in different kind of cuts. Like I still holding on to the D-Walk shoot that I got with him like quickly at the Ono Fest. So like just again, you might see your favorite artist like on my page. Just like keep an eye out, or you can be on my page. Anyone can. Like I just want to keep.
That's hard. That's
I guess the most like I don't got like any like pop-up events or this and that going on. Merch dropping. Like I don't got any of that kind of stuff.
Just steady grinding.
Just steady grinding. Because again, I'm still not like I still look at myself as just like again rookie. Like I can play the game, but I'm not like I don't know fully like you know all the ins and outs what I'm doing. Still like learning, soaking it all in. Taking advice from others, reaching out, like you know, asking help for stuff. So,
hell yeah. Well, that's good, bro. Well, I want to ask like one more like off the cuff question, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Because this, I had experience recently that happened to me. But like, have you had a moment where it's like someone you know, like family friend, got kind of starstruck by someone you ran into and got on your page, or were actually hit up with and wanted to work with you? You know what I mean?
So, not really, because like a lot of like the people, like especially like you know, love my friends, but like not a lot of them I think like know like the scene in KC. So like it's more some like the people like that I've met in this will be like, oh dude, you shot with them. Like, but again, if I go home and like tell my mom like, hey mom, like I shot with D-Walk, like she's gonna be like, yeah, that's cool. Like hell yeah, she'll support because she's like you know my #1 fan, but like she's not gonna like know exactly what that is. I'd say like when I posted the 1,000 band Fonny ones, like those photos, I had a couple friends that were like, "Oh, dude, you shot with Fonny. That's so cool." Because like they like kind of grew up like listening to him like the last like 4 or 5 years. So that was like the most like just because he was like out of the city and like again like it post some photos like with Sleazy and them like they're like, "Oh, that's cool." Like the people like more the mainstream stuff, but like I don't know, I get hell excited again just for the people like in the city that I get to work with. Like for again, first time shooting with. Being out, I was like, oh, this is so sick. Or like first time again meeting Kai a couple days ago, I was like, this is so cool. Like this is what I like thought about like a couple years, like a year back when I first started this, thinking like, okay, these are like the head honchos. These are all these people. Like, let's work with all of them. Let's meet them. Let's be friends. Like I just want to do this. So
most definitely, bro. Well, shit. One last thing I always ask everybody. I assume there are some kids watching this. Advice, bro. What do you have to? What's the message that you've learned from this experience? And even shoot, you're a collegiate athlete, swimmer. You know what I mean? So your path is very unique unto you. You know what I mean? What have like this road taught you that you were willing and very even eager to want to share to people?
Man, I don't want to see just like offer up again. I've said it 1,000 times through this. Is like just do it. Like,
amen.
Like there's never gonna be like a perfect day, perfect time. Like, ooh, like I want these conditions at this time. I'll start Monday. Like, even if it's like not good, like that first initial time that I posted like the first cover on my Instagram was just like, all right, don't know how people. I was just posting photos of me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start this now. Like, you just do it. Like, if you just start and do it, and then, but once you commit to it, you have to stay with it. Like, it's not something like, oh, I'll kind of post once a week, or I'll get a shoot maybe like once a month. And if it's because like you're just not able to like get people to do it, that's fine. But if you're choosing just like not to put the work into it, like then like find something else that you do want to do like push like for. So if you commit to it. And even when it's like, and again, like, man, I sound like all the people I've seen like podcasts for when they're like, eventually you keep grinding, like you don't see the moment when you reflect back, but like, even in this small year, and again, it doesn't feel too different, but when I look back at the stuff, it's like, wow, like none of that would have happened if I didn't just do it. And like some of the stuff that I thought about, like, you know, a couple months back, like because I do a lot of reflection, just like really like living in the moment, being like, oh man, like I just did that shoot today. Or, oh wow, I just had an interview this morning and I have a video tomorrow. And like, this is like the life that I'm wanting to like make for myself. Yes, there's not the riches and the fame and stuff around it, but like at the core, it's like I'm doing what a year ago I would have fucking fell out of my chair, been like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be with those people. Like, like being on a podcast, like that's cool. Like that's so cool. Like,
thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Again, I appreciate those moments, and again, just do it. Yeah, it's gonna be my main message.
Amen, brother, bro. Because like, shit, like you're saying, like it is. I got yelled at by my management for posting the first.
He's a mean guy. He's a mean guy.
He's an ass. He's an ass. But no, I definitely that first video was not supposed to go up when it did. But I'm sitting at home and I'm just like you said, just thinking like, sure, I could sit on this video for. I could have waited till the end of the year and like first of the year have a steady, you know, consistent rollout. But it's also like, why wait? Because like all my friends have been hearing me talk about this shit since like high school. So it's like it's not even funny anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like, and after doing that, I would honestly say like some of the craziest things like that have like people I've met. You know what I mean? It's just back to back to back, and it's so amazing. It's genuinely a blessing, bro.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I say that first one for sure is like you just got to do it to establish like a base ground. After that, like you can get more calculated as you're doing. Like again, like I don't post every single day and all my good stuff because then because there might be some weeks that are like, you know, a little more blank and I might not have anything to post. But like, luckily I had 3 shoots from last week that I can still post this week. But like when you're at the beginning, like it's green light go. Like you're on go mode the whole time. So just like as you make something, put it out there. Even if it's crap, you can delete it later if you don't like it. Like it's not permanent. So like
I'm shooting with you tomorrow, and then after we got one on the 9th. And that's all for this month. So that's 3 this month. 3. Oh, yeah, 3 this week. Oh, my God.
Good. Hell yeah, that's the way to do it.
I forgot. We haven't finished our schedule for this month. That's true.
And as long as that calendar on your phone has like dots on like every other day, that's what you want.
It's starting to get there.
Good.
Yeah, bro. Hey, thank you again, bro. Thank you again.
Thank you. For real.
Hey, if you ever want to come sit down with me, I'm obliged to talk with you, bro. I like talking to people.
Oh, 100%.
Anytime, bro. Just let me know.
Oh, please, 100%. Y'all need to be on this. This shit crazy.
You heard him, bro. You heard him. All right. Thank you, bro.